Hi, welcome everyone. Maayong hapon, magandang hapon, good afternoon. It's so strange to be online and not see windows of people's faces. So I invite you all to say hello in the chat so that it doesn't feel like I'm speaking into an empty room. Thank you all so much for coming through. Hi, Heather, for coming through on a Sunday, on a very beautiful, sunny, hot afternoon. My name is Verma Soria Zapanta. I'm the daughter of Teresa Soria Balano, granddaughter of Luisa Cunoy Cacal, and great-granddaughter of Josefa Silao and Transfiguracion Capuyan Enriquez. I am a circle keeper, wellness practitioner, photographer, and one of two program coordinators at the Filipino Mental Health Initiative of San Francisco. I'm dialing in from Yelamu, occupied Ramaytush Ohlone territory, forcibly named San Francisco, California. And I want to express my gratitude to the Ohlone people for the privilege of being birthed here and the opportunity to thrive on their land. As a non-Indigenous person, as a non-Black person, as a settler, I want to acknowledge that I am a benefactor of colonization, and may we continue to commit ourselves to becoming better allies, accomplices, and stewards of this land that allows us to do, gatherings and celebrations such as Undiscovered X. I arrived today with deep gratitude. I'm an extension of my ancestors, my elders, my teachers, and the communities that raised me. And I arrive as a lifelong student, a mental health advocate for the Filipinx community here in Ohlone territory and really throughout the Filipino diaspora. So daghang salamat, thank you to Balay Creative, Undiscovered, and our kapwa Kimberly Artechi, who curated this panel and really continuing to make space for our communities to share our stories. So thank you, Kim. I wanted to really start off today to name that our community is in mourning. And let me start off actually by sharing my screen with you all before going into this. Let's see. And if you can in the chat, just let me know. Can you see this? Can you all see that I'm sharing my screen? Yay, thank you. So I wanted to begin today to really name that our community is in mourning, that our people are hurting on so many different levels, and it's directly and indirectly related to this pandemic. I want to start this afternoon to acknowledge a dear brother who recently passed away by the name of Melvin. We send love to his family, his friends, mentors, the organizers, the many educators and artists who contributed to his growth as a very talented MC and leader who repped our community to the fullest. In this time of isolation, uncertainty, and disconnection, it's especially critical for us to be rooted in what gives us joy and to really find ways to stay connected with loved ones and to make the courageous leap to seek support when life feels unbearable. I invite you all to normalize and engage in these difficult conversations of mental health in the Filipinx community. Talk about depression, talk about suicide, talk about anxiety, whether it's how you yourself may be struggling through it, or perhaps you're struggling to support someone you care about and making sense of it. We're so much more powerful when we're able to move through these painful conversations as a community. And mental health, right, is so much more than toll-free numbers, but it is a start. This is a running list. It can go on your refrigerator. You can save it on your cell phone. And we have it available for download on FMHI's website that I believe can be found in the chat. So today, really, I'm just going to be talking about what our organization does, and towards the end, leading you all into a brief grounding exercise that I actually just learned 2 hours ago. So I'm really excited to share our work with you all. So the Filipino Mental Health Initiative of San Francisco, we're located in the historic south of Market District in San Francisco, also known as SOMA Pilipinas. And we are comprised of community members, mental health advocates, professionals, social workers, educators who our goal is really to destigmatize conversations around mental health. And we do it based within our skill set and through collaboration and by offering culturally appropriate wellness services throughout San Francisco. The blessing in disguise for being sheltered in place and being forced to go remote is that our reach is now beyond San Francisco and the Bay Area, and we've been able to engage our kapwa throughout Turtle Island as far as New York, and we even have core members who are working remotely in the motherland, in the Philippines. So where our office is located inside the Bayanihan Community Center. So right there on 6th and Mission, the big yellow building. We are part of the SOMA Pilipinas Coalition, and we are also partnered with the Asian and Pacific Islander Mental Health Collaborative here in San Francisco. Some of the services that we offer, we do outreach and education. So what that can look like is hosting forums. We offer mental health first aid trainings in both Tagalog and in English. We probably are best known for our wellness promotion. So October is super busy for us. Every year we curate a Filipinx Healer workshop series, and really trying to partner up with Filipinx identified practitioners from all over the diaspora to share their medicine with us. We do knowledge exchanges, we've done symposiums in the past, and one of our other services is really to increase access to services. At the moment, we do not offer on-site counseling. However, we are able to refer community members to social services because, you know, mental health isn't just, you know, you need a therapist or a counselor, but sometimes it's needing access to food or needing access to legal services. And I'm excited to announce a project in a little bit of systematizing counseling services for our community. This is the Filipinx Healer Workshop Series flyer. So every October, in celebration of Filipino American History Month, we collaborate with different holistic practitioners throughout the diaspora, and we offer these wellness workshops free to the community. Just about 30 minutes ago, we ended our third session with a practitioner named Anit Laarni Ayuma, who's out in Austin, Texas, and she wrapped up a beautiful workshop around the teachings of Hilot and really sharing her experiences as a practitioner and how this medicine exists within her family and how she's navigating sharing that with our community. We still have 2 more sessions left, and we're super excited to collaborate with Jamie Cardenas of Magpie Alchemy. I believe she is probably on a panel here for Undiscovered X, and she's also part of the Pinaista community, so really embedded in the Filipino community here in San Francisco. She's going to be hosting 2 workshops for us next week. The first is going to be working with natural plant dyes, and then the second workshop is on DIY soap making. So all of our workshops, all of our offerings are offered free to the community. So I highly encourage you all to check it out. Just go on our website. That's the direct link to register for the workshops. And we hope that you all can come through. This is a big partnership, a big collaboration that I'm really honored to announce publicly on behalf of Dr. therapinai.com. I'm sure many of you follow them on social media, and they're just brilliant. They are able to really tie in mental health and wellness as it relates to our colonial past, how we're navigating the evolvement of our identity as Filipino, Filipinx, Pinoy, Pinay, Filipino American, however you all define that, like how that relates to our mental health as well. And the Filipino Mental Health Initiative of San Francisco is honored to partner up with Dr. Therapinai on the launching of an online Filipinx therapist directory. And so what we need support with from you all and our other community members who may be watching this later on is with fundraising. And so if you visit the website www.drtherapinai.com, you can make a direct donation to help with the launching of this website. And what this will do is create an online directory of Filipinx identified mental health practitioners, holistic practitioners, and professionals, right, who can offer therapy services from sliding scale to insured to non-insured. We're hoping to launch before the end of this year, and we're humbly reaching out for your financial support to fund this really critical, this huge feat for our community. So we're really thankful to the team at Dr. Therapinai for starting and building this work in partnership with FMHI SF. Go check them out. So now I'm going to lead you all into a, I guess it's called a body scan. I had a different activity in mind, but I was just so inspired by Anit's workshop earlier that I wanted to share this with you all. A little bit about Anit. She's a dear friend of mine. She's the founder of Ayuma Healing Arts. She's a powerful intuitive counselor, manghihilot, and holistic practitioner based out in Austin, Texas. This is what she recently titled as a body scan, because that's how I guess other people will probably label this. But this is a practice that she's inherited in her family and that she's been doing since she was a child. And so I'm really grateful, Anit. I know you're here. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this practice with our community, especially at such last minute. I know I just got your permission to do this. You all are probably reeling in from like being out enjoying the sun, or maybe you came from another workshop. But I want to lead you all into this brief grounding activity. And go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. I myself, I'm sitting here in a chair. And maybe to make this a little bit more engaging, I'll stop sharing my screen so that you all can see me. Right? So go ahead and find a comfortable seated position. If you're sitting in a chair, I invite you to have your feet planted into the ground. And if you want, you can gently position your eyes 45 degrees into the ground, or you can close them depending on how comfortable you all feel. And make sure you straighten your back, but don't let it be like uncomfortable, and don't let it, it shouldn't hurt. But just, just sit up, proud spine. And I invite you all to connect with your breath. Okay? So there's no need to forcibly fill your lungs with air, right? It's not a matter of trying to control your breath. Like, the goal is just to practice awareness. Okay? And if this is the first time that you are connecting with your breath today, that is all good, because you're here now. And you're going to gently go at your own pace. And the way I'd like you all to be with your breath is to take an inhale through the nose and release through the mouth. Really feeling your shoulders dropping further away from your ears. And go ahead and take another breath in through the nose. And then release. And again, we're just building a relationship to awareness. And take one more breath in through the nose. And then release. And now if your eyes are closed, gently open them. And we're going to activate our hands. And go ahead and just rub them together. And blow into them. I'm creating some warmth into your hands. And now I invite you to place that medicine, that warmth in your hands onto parts of your body that need some tending to. So identify what parts of the body feel tense. What parts of the body feels a little bit neglected today. For me, it's always right here in my shoulders, particularly underneath the shoulder blades. So the invitation is just to give a little bit of love, right? That energy, that warmth that you harnessed in between your hands. A sister over at Community Well, Jennifer Navarro, she calls them our helot hands. Go check them out, communitywellsf.com. And just tend to the parts of your body that need some love. It might be the chest. I know our air quality today here in San Francisco is moderate. Maybe it's in the belly. And you can apply light pressure. And if you do apply some light pressure on there with the thumbs, or if you're cupping with the fingers, Anit taught us that with every time you apply a little bit of pressure, that there's a release with the breath. So I'm putting some pressure on my belly. And I want to release, right? Because we're trying to get rid of the tension, the blocked energy. We're trying to get some movement going. Sometimes I have like some tension on my spine. I'm in front of my computer sometimes like 8-10 hours a day. You know, maybe you need to give a little bit of love to your knees. Okay? And so now together, let's place our hands, that energy, onto our core, your stomach. This is where our liver lives. According to Chinese medicine, that's where we store our anger. You know, a lot of us have been angry lately. Also the spleen, and it's weakened by stress. And tap into like what is blocking you from feeling rooted. And what's blocking you from garnering that courage, you know, to show up for others. But more importantly, what's blocking you from showing up for yourself. And you can apply light pressure. And remember, when you apply pressure, you want to exhale, okay? And then release. Don't let the icky energy, you know, stay stuck there. We want to move it through. Okay, and I invite you to move that medicine in your hands to your chest, to your lungs. And again, according to Chinese medicine, our lungs is what holds grief. And for many of us, because of the air quality, because of anxiety from this pandemic or scarcity or like safety, right? Our lungs have been working in like over triple time. So I invite you to just give your chest a little bit of tenderness today. You know, you return to your breath when we started this. And just think about like what is stuck in the heart space. What have you been holding on for other people? And are you ready to release just a little bit of that in this moment? Okay? So remember, when you apply some pressure, you want to release with an exhale. Inhale through the nose. And then release. And now let's apply that energy to the throat. And your hands don't have to stay idle there, right? It's whatever your hands feel called to do. And don't put so much pressure on the throat, okay? Don't choke yourself out. I want you to think about, what have you been struggling to articulate, to speak out loud, to name? And instead of us applying pressure, we're just going to wipe that energy, okay, with a release. So how that can look like is just, yeah, and if you need to also just offer it back, right, to the earth. If you're sitting or you're standing, you know, your feet are planted into the ground, right? So just imagine that being released back onto the land. And now I invite you to move to your jaw. Give it a little gentle massage with the fingertips. I hope your hands are clean. And we'll massage down right here to the chin. And we hold a lot of like stress and anxiety here in the jaw. Many of us probably don't even know that we clench our jaw when we sleep and we wake up with a terrible headache. So we're just going to do a gentle motion down the jaw. You can also massage your ears. My Qigong teacher taught me that if you just do gentle massage of the ears every day, you'll actually feel a difference with the mobility of like your neck moving left to right. And for those of you who are in front of the computer or on your cell phone, whatever piece of technology, right, there's a lot of stuff like tension and stuckness here. Just massage the ears. And then you can go to the back of the head. It's right there. Okay, and it shouldn't hurt. We're just trying to like move some energy there. Never apply pressure onto the bone. You can do the soft muscles in between. Right, and this is my favorite. I have really severe allergies, and especially with the smoke and the ash that has been falling these past few months, right? This tends to get really congested. And so you can just apply some pressure here around the cheekbones. And I see I'm starting to get red in the face. So there's like some circulation happening here, right? And you can just do like a gentle massage here. This also is really helpful too. You get some movement, some blood flowing in like the sinus cavity. Okay. And then let's move to the shoulders and the shoulder blades, right? So we're trying to move like the energy here. For me, I find that when I'm like super, super stressed, there's a lot of tension right here. So just give yourself some love, nice little massage. I think that's going to be the first thing I do once shelter or the quarantine stuff is completely lifted, I cannot wait to get some body work done. But you can do this for yourself in the meantime, right? Applying some pressure. Make sure that you're breathing. Giving yourself some love here. I'm gonna stand up a little bit. Especially for those who be typing all the time. Right, in the forearms. Between the bones here and like the palm. And then gentle massage and stretch out. So we're trying to move the energy out, right? So if you're doing your hands, make sure releasing out. Super important to take care of our fingers and our hands, folks. We're constantly on our cell phones and our laptops and our tablets. Right? Make sure you do the other side. Make sure you're breathing. I'm a little bit sweaty, so it's actually really easy to give myself a massage right now. All right. Okay, and then we want to move all of that out. I'm going to teach you at the last minute, since we have a couple more minutes, I'm going to teach you like some hand stretches here that I learned from my Qigong teacher. So you can like do all these things, right? Like in between like your classes online or while you're at work, while you're sitting, you could do it in the park, right? If you're taking a break from your wellness hike. So we want to get some movement, right, in our wrists. If at the Allison is still here, remember at the Allison, you want to loosen up your wrists, okay? And then you want to say, no, thank you. You want to do a chopping motion. And then really feeling out. Like you see the tips of my fingers, so that blood flowing. Right, that's like, I was gonna curse, sorry. That's like really restricted, right? When we're like constantly like typing. So we gotta take care of our hands and our wrists and our forearms and keep it loose. Okay, and so we'll do some last breaths together to end our time. And wherever you feel called to place your hands, I'm feeling like, you know, my heart and my belly need a little bit more love today. So I'm just gonna place both my hands there. And just filling yourself with gratitude for all that your body continues to do for you without any question. And give gratitude to Mother Earth for willingly taking energies that don't serve us. We're thankful to these hands, for these feet, especially these feet, or my feet that ground me. I invite you to take one breath in through the nose and then release. Releasing any residual energy that doesn't serve you. One more time, inhale and exhale. Then one more breath in and release. Thank all our teachers and our elders who came before us. Maraming salamat sa lahat. Amen. I thank you all. Maraming salamat, daghang salamat for coming. Please, please, please stay connected with us. Visit us online. I'm gonna put my contact information here. You can like screenshot it. Check us out on Instagram. This is my my direct email address. So please like reach out. I think the only thing not on here is our YouTube channel. We're also on YouTube. So thank you all so much for taking time to be with me, to show up for yourselves. And I wish you all a happy Sunday. Have a great work week. Maraming salamat.